great to see you again behind the mic because last week we actually finally met in person.
Yeah. Finally, we met in Pittsburg with a bunch of our other friends,
Yeah.
and I got to touch your beard and give you a
Absolutely. Yeah.
hug.
The most handsome-est of hugs I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really fun. We went in Pittsburg. We rented a big Airbnb for a ton of people. You had to sleep in the oven zone, I believe.
Yeah. Supposedly I was supposed to sleep in the oven zone. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was a 3-floor Airbnb, and the top floor was getting no air conditioning at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's where I was supposed to sleep. And then I went up there and laid down for 2 hours and could not sleep. So I
Oh,
ended
no.
up just staying up all night.
Dang it, yeah.
Which it ended up being fine. I got up at 1 a.m. and just continued to drink
Yeah.
until 5 a.m. with our friend Dylan.
Nice.
And yeah, that was fun. It was basically just the two of us sitting there talking about Warhammer for 3 hours. It was a good time.
Nice. You didn't have too much of a disagreement on the version and everything?
No. He was asking a whole lot of questions about why I like fantasy, and the kind of we were talking a lot about the differences between the worlds of Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40K. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun time. But
Yeah.
it sucked not getting any sleep, but I just couldn't sleep for whatever reason. So I just stayed
Yeah,
up,
sometimes
and
that
then
happens. Yeah.
yeah. So I ended up being up for 48 hours straight. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Or nearly 48 hours straight. I think I slept for maybe an hour or two somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, but yeah, that's quite a long day, but when you're having fun, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
From time
It
to time.
was it was a good time. Got to meet a lot of people that I've known online for many years and never actually seen in person.
Yeah,
So,
same.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it was an
was
awesome time. Finally, meeting you was awesome too. Just
mhm.
we'll talk a bit about the games we've played, but it was just fun being around and doing fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that we get along in person, cuz it's been some podcasts that I've seen in the past where the two hosts meet online, and then they have great rapport online, and then they go and they meet each other together in real life, and they're like, yeah, we fucking hate each other. This podcast is over.
That would have been terrible. No. We're pretty much the same, just
Yeah.
without the camera between us.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, it sucks that you live so far away, but also it would probably be better if I didn't live in this country.
Yeah. I think if any one of us had to move, I would pick you.
Yes, me too. Even though I just bought this house, I would rather move.
Yeah. I get that. Freaking politics, man.
I know, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm literally like near nobody of our friend circle online.
Hmm.
I think my closest contact in that Discord is like 6 hours away. It's pretty
Yeah,
ridiculous. I'm kind of isolated in my little city on the East Coast. Yeah.
yeah, you're isolated up there. I do have somebody that lives close by. Our friend Caleb
Yeah.
lives just on the other side of town from me.
Oh,
We
cool,
both
cool.
live within the Kansas City area. I just
Yeah.
live on the Missouri side. He lives on the Kansas side. Um, so he's I don't know, 45 minutes away.
Nice.
We've met up a few times before, so it was good to see him again. We
Yeah.
hadn't seen each other for over a year, actually. We don't
Wow.
meet up very often, but we have met up for drinks and stuff in the past.
Yeah. You don't climb enough. If you're in the
No, I
gym.
don't climb enough.
Yeah.
He did invite me to go climbing with him while we were out there in Pittsburgh, and I was like, not I'm a little too tired today because he was going on Sunday. I was like,
Yeah.
once we're back home, go ahead and holler at me, And he's like, well, there's a climbing gym out by where you're at. It's like 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
We can meet out there. So I'll probably end up meeting him out there and trying out some bouldering one of
Oh,
these days.
nice. I think he went also on Saturday. I wanted to go, but I fuck up my shoulder right before PolCon, so I was like, yeah, not doing anything physical for the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most physical thing that I did was lifting a beer directly into my mouth.
Yeah, basically. That's the sound of a good time.
Oh yeah. I mean, we did walk quite a
Yeah.
bit. Me and a few folks. You didn't come with us to the arcade.
Yeah,
But
I'm kind of sad I didn't get to go there. Like I saw the Enter the Gungeon light gun game, and that's one
mhm.
I've been wanted to try for a while. So I would have really wanted to go to the arcade, but I had tickets for the baseball game, so we did
Mhm.
walk quite far to get to the baseball game.
Right. Yeah, I think the arcade was actually a little disappointing. You probably would have liked that game, but it was small and there wasn't a whole lot of machines that I particularly was interested in. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get
Okay,
to
cool.
talking about some games for sure.
All right, all right. Well, once again, it was great meeting you, and I think we will have to get to the games now.
I think
Right?
so.
We're not
Yeah.
we're not the live action meeting in people podcast. We're the games
No,
podcast.
we're the TrashStation podcast, your gaming podcast all about weird, unknown, and forgotten video games. I am your host, Chris, here with your co-host, Max. Max, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm going way better than last week. Let's not get into too much details, but even though it was a great weekend, I had a shitty weekend at the same time. And
You sure
you
did.
know, in our friend circles, we're known to play mostly trashy games. We're talking anime games, retro games you've never heard of, the NDS stuff on itch.io, and everything in between.
And as usual, we'll add those games to our tier list we call the landfill, chat about our creative hobbies, and shout out some of our favorite content creators on the internet.
Awesome. It seems you have a little bit more on your list. Do you want to go first?
I do. I'm gonna go ahead and take the two games that I played, the first two on my list here. I'm gonna take both of them at the same time because I played them both on the Vita while I was on the planes, flying out to Pittsburgh. The first game that I played was a visual novel called 3/4 Home.
Okay.
And it's hard to talk about a visual novel because like the reading is the primary aspect of the game, right? But this isn't a very long game. It only takes about like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get through. And then there's an additional like prologue / epilogue. It calls it an epilogue, but it actually takes place before the primary story of the game. But I think it was originally released as DLC for the game. So this game was released on like PlayStation 4, Vita, and like everything else that existed in 2015. And the primary conceit of the game is that you're not seeing any characters. You are this girl and you are driving in a car through a storm and you're like talking with your family. And it takes place in Iowa, I believe, somewhere in the like the Midwestern United States, because you're like driving through cornfields and driving past wind farms and stuff like that, like stuff that you see here in the Midwest. And so what that essentially means, gameplay wise, is that you're holding on you're holding the back of the Vita, the touchpad, to the right to move your character to the right across as they're traveling, and then the only other in-game interactions that you have are either pressing the R button to continue forward whatever the NPC is saying to you, or you press X to make a selection of what you're saying back to the people that you're talking to. So this story is a story about this girl who like came home from college and is kind of like in a bad place, but is they live in like the rural Midwest, so she can't find a job, and
Mhm.
so she's like on the phone with her parents, and you're learning about like her dad's alcoholism because he had an accident several years ago and lost his leg because of the accident. So now he can't work anymore, and he's depressed because he can't work anymore. So all he's doing is gardening and drinking. And you learn about like her kid brother who is just kind of like obsessed with the weather and the weather reports and wants to be a weatherman. And this whole time there's like this storm blowing through and you're driving through the rain and like they're afraid that tornadoes are going to touch down, and
Mhm.
you're learning about like your character's past and what happened to her while she was in college and the things that happened there and why she ended up moving back home and why she's not at her house right now, because like she's just going through a lot of stuff. And
Okay.
it's a really touching story. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
there any kind of gameplay outside of that going like
Nope.
forward, backward? That's a whole thing, right?
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
You can go backwards. So like if you don't like whatever selection you made for dialogue, you can press the left back of the Vita touchpad and rewind time to be able to replay that conversation and choose different conversation outcomes, essentially choose what you're
Yeah.
saying differently. But that's it. That's the only
Okay.
thing that I found gameplay wise. There's nothing else.
Okay.
So if you like visual novels and you want to read something for 2 hours, this was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Nice.
Um, so I played this just like sitting in the airport and then on the flight. So my flight was from Kansas City to Detroit and then Detroit to Pittsburgh, which
Mhm.
Kansas City to Detroit is like 2 hours. And then Detroit to Pittsburgh is like 40 minutes. So that was a nothing flight. It's like you get into
Yeah.
the air and they're like, you can turn on your cell phone and do whatever now. And then 10 minutes later, turn off all your shit because we're landing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't do much on that flight, but the first flight into Detroit, I played most of this. But yeah, it's interesting. I think it's cool. If you don't like visual novels, you're not gonna like this. Like it's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
So my Vita's also hacked, so I can just play whatever I want that was released on the Vita. So I don't
Mhm.
care about like cost investment or anything like that.
Yeah. But it's like $5 on Steam. Like, if you want to
Oh,
play it,
perfect.
yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, I did not know how much it cost. I didn't. Yeah, so perfect. $5 on Steam. Go ahead and play it. If you have a Steam Deck, it probably work fine on there. I'm sure it plays fine on, you know, PC.
Yeah. I bet it
I would
does.
say it's like solid B tier. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's not
Report
gonna blow
zone.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not gonna blow you away or anything. But it was a decent visual novel. So
Yeah. If you're down for a story, you can
mhm.
pretty go wrong.
Yeah. And then
Cool.
the second game on Vita that I played during my travels was Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, which I have played before, and this is
Mhm.
just really fun classic Castlevania clone. Like it plays like the original three Castlevanias on NES. You know, it's not the Metroidvania. It's you go into a
Yeah.
stage and you literally play through that stage and then you go on to the next stage. And I am trying to play this game on like the classic mode, which means that I actually have lives and
Oh wow.
enemies do more damage and you have like knockback like you do in the classic Castlevania
Sweet.
games. And
Oh,
it is,
okay. It's the 8-bit version, like Curse of the
yes,
Moon.
this is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
8-bit game.
Okay, cool.
This game is hard on this mode. It's
I'm sure.
really hard.
Nice.
When I originally played it, there's like a casual mode where the knockback isn't as severe. You have unlimited lives to get through uh the stages. The continue points are a little bit more generous. I'm trying to play it on that slightly harder difficulty. And yeah, it's tough. But I like playing the classic Castlevania games, and I think this is a really, really good one of those. So I'm gonna try and persevere and actually get through it on this mode because I know how to beat these bosses. I've beaten them
Yeah.
all before. It's just a matter of like relearning the patterns again and making sure that I know when I'm supposed to do what to dodge, what attacks, and I'll get
Cool.
through it. I beat like 3 levels on the plane.
Yeah.
And there's 7, I think.
Okay.
So I'm a bit of the ways through it. It's good. This game's really good. I would say Curse of the Moon is like the best Castlevania clone you could possibly play if you're into classic Vania games.
Nice.
Like, I don't think it's quite as good as like Rondo of Blood, which is probably the best of that style of actual Castlevania games, but it's really, really good. If you've not played Curse of the Moon yet, you really should.
Nice. Have you played the sequel?
Yeah, I have.
Cool.
I think the sequel is not quite as good. It's still good. My problem with the sequel is that they took away a lot of the challenge of the game, actually. They made it kind of easy because in these games you get multiple characters that you can switch in between and each have their own health pool. The problem with Curse of the Moon 2 is that you end up getting a character that is a Shiba Inu in a mech, and he's just overpowered.
Yeah.
Because he can like hover over all the obstacles in the levels, and he hits really hard because he's in a mech. So you end up just playing most of the game, ignoring all the platforming and being able to easily defeat all the enemies. I still think the game is good, but I think the first one is better. And I played Ritual of the Night also, which was Iga's Metroidvania style game that he made. And I think that game's good too. So I like Bloodstained. I hope Iga keeps continuing to make Bloodstained games because these are Castlevania now, since Konami's not making Castlevania games anymore. So
I mean, there was an announcement trailer for Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement like a month ago.
Oh,
Which Metroidvania Bloodstained, so it should be coming.
Cool. We'll get another one soon.
Yeah, it says 2026.
Sweet.
Nice.
As for Curse of the Moon, I would say that it's an absolute banger.
Wow.
It's a really, really good game. It's S tier. It's just good. It's just really, really good. I love this game.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, and I hope you manage to beat it on the harder difficulty.
Me too.
How likely do you think you'd have to start back from the beginning, from where you are?
Oh, very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost certainly I'm going to have to restart this game a few times. So I remember when I was playing, what's the name of that game? It was the Castlevania game that was released on Sega Genesis. Bloodlines. Castlevania Bloodlines. I played that game for like a month straight, where every day I would get home from work and I would do a run or two of that game to try and get through it, and every day I would get a little bit farther and a little bit farther and a little bit farther, and I kept persevering with it and eventually got to beat that game. I don't think I would ever have the mental fortitude to do that again now that I've done it.
Yeah.
Because that's a tough video game, but it was a lot of fun going through it like that and actually trying to beat a retro game like that,
Nice. Yeah, that's sweet. Great stuff.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? You got some stuff here.
Yeah, I can also knock my plane games because I also downloaded some games on my phone before I lost my phone. And the 2 games I played, the first one is called Super Flappy Golf. So still in a golf mood, I went on the App Store, looked through stuff, and this one looked interesting, like a mix between Flappy Bird and a golf game. I was curious, so I downloaded the
Mhm.
game, and basically, it's a puzzle golf game with Flappy Bird controls. So
Okay.
it's 2D, and on each screen you have different sections to reach to the goal, and which is a hole, a golf hole, and you have a number of flaps that you can do to reach the par. So if and it's medal based, so you can reach for the gold medals, the silver medals, or the bronze medals. So I'm basically doing all the gold medals because that's where the fun is, trying to figure out those holes in like 2 or 3 flaps. And that's all you do. You have your golf ball and then you start flapping. And every time you hit left or right, you can either flap left or right. And if you hold down that flap button, you will glide longer in that direction. And there's also some strategy where you can use that gameplay to do more movement with a single flap. So, because when you hit both left and right at the same time, you can do a dive attack. And if you switch direction mid-flight, that doesn't count as a flap. So you can like go right, flat, then turn to the left, because like the level is like winding in like tunnel S shape, and that won't count as a second flap because you're just continuing your glide in another direction. So in the later levels, you really have to use that. You flap to the right, then you dive, then you stop diving, you glide to the right, then you turn around, glide to the left, and you do a lot of movement with a single flap, and then you end up beating the level with 2 flaps. But if you were to just do it like normally, flap, flap left, flap, flap right, then you will have like 6 or 7 flaps.
Okay.
And there's also in each world of 9 holes, there's a secret flag where you have to find like weird shape in the geometry that will teleport you to a secret flag that usually it's pretty easy. Like you see that there's a secret flag and you just have to look for that little crevasse and try to go in it. And each world has a different like visual theme, so that's pretty fun. There's one that looks like you're flapping into a Minecraft world, and there's a lot of like normal stuff like the grass field, the volcano, the underwater team, the space team, and each level can have different mechanics. So some level will have portals that you can go through that moves you to somewhere else in the level. Other has stuff that moves. Other has sticky stuff on the wall, so you can stuck to something that rotates. Then wait for the rotation to end, and then flap after that. Lasers, and yeah, just a bunch of stuff. I'm not done with the game, so there's like 3 different uh, cups: the easy one, the medium, and the pro. And I'm now in the final section of the game. I still have like maybe 45 levels to go through, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's just super fun. I'm using the free version, so I have like that's that's one thing that's kind of annoying. Like the first time you play, when you open the app, you get like one shot and then you get ads, but then you don't get ads for like 5 minutes. So
Okay.
really not too disturbing. But I would have liked to buy the full version, but the full version is like $8, and that's just like slightly too expensive to.
Right. Yeah. If it was like 5, it'd probably be a little bit easier to swing.
Yeah, exactly. But like for $8, I'm like, yeah, I can deal with ads every 5 minutes. That's
Mhm.
really not too bad. And yeah, that's Super Flappy Golf. I think it's super interesting. Any questions before I put it on the tier list?
So, no, go ahead.
I think this one will go into great games. It's
Really? Okay.
yeah. I'm having a lot of fun, and like it's not easy most of the time. Like like past the first cup, like figuring out those like two flaps goals are actually pretty great like action puzzle, like trying to figure out the dives and everything. And there's also another mechanic where if you really go flush into the hole, you lose a stroke. So sometimes you can like play with that. You try to do like that perfect hole entry so you get an extra stroke to beat the level. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's just a lot of depth, a lot of variety, and I think it's a perfect like phone game. You just have a
Perfect.
fun puzzle time. Yeah. The second one, I won't talk too much about it because I only played like an hour or two. It's called Under Night, and the way it's described in the App Store, it says it's a third-person action game. I think it uses a lot of like buzzwords like Souls game and stuff.
Hmm.
But basically, what the game is like a survivors game mixed with a character action game, a bit like a warriors game. So there are
Okay.
waves of character. It's all 3D and cartoony. Think a bit Fortnite, and there are characters. There are waves of enemies coming in, and you have a single button to control your character. So you can like use a virtual joystick, and then when you're near another enemy, you can like tap the attack button to go attack that enemy, and you can also swipe left and right to do some dodge rolls. So I guess that's where the Souls uh, experience
Hmm.
is like the influence is all about. And you basically have to beat 30 waves to beat a whole level, and every so often you get enough experience that you get a random boon. So that's like the survivors kind of thing. So you can upgrade either your attack, you can get some random arrows that will shoot around you, some knives, you can get more health. So you can just build your character as you go along. And honestly, I was kind of surprised. The game is actually pretty compelling. You cannot just mindlessly go in the level and just smash the attack button. You really have to check the patterns of the enemies, dodge roll, and there are a lot. You can easily get swarmed by like 5 or 4 enemies that will attack at the same time. So
Hmm.
you have to like distance yourself. Your use your special attack to kind of deal with those big waves of enemies. And every 10 levels, there's a boss fight. So one bigger enemy that you have to learn the pattern to beat. And I've beaten the first world, and I think I got like almost to the end of the second world, like the second level. And yeah, it's honestly really fun. I'm kind of
Cool.
surprised. It looks a bit generic on the App Store and everything, and like the game is called Under Night, and it's like all the words, both words are glued together.
Hmm.
It feels like someone didn't know how to use the space bar, and it's like some cheap Chinese knockoff. But yeah, it's actually pretty competent. Uh, I'm not sure how the like progression goes because you have to upgrade your character, and you during the levels you would get weapons that you can then merge to get higher weapons and stuff. So I don't know if it gets like crazy, and by the third or fourth world I will be super under leveled and just get swarmed by everything.
Right.
But so far, I would say that it's a very nice surprise.
So I saw Under Night on this list, and I thought you were going to be talking about Under Night in Birth, which is a fighting game made by Arc System Works. That's an anime fighter
Ah,
similar to like Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue. Um, but
I'm
no,
sorry.
not that game.
No, not that one. I guess I will have to check that out some at some time.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult fighting game to play. I will put it that way.
Okay. So, any questions on Under
No.
Night before I put it on tier list? I think
Oh, that sounds
for an
cool.
yeah, it sounds really cool. It is really cool, but I think I will put it in this is fine. I don't know enough about the game to put it higher, but so
Mhm.
far I'm having fun with the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So last time we recorded,
Yeah.
you talked about a game called Bolf,
Yeah.
and then I looked on Steam and I found another game called Bolf that is
Mhm.
a very different game than the
Yep.
one that you talked about. This is Bolf, but it is bowling slash golf,
Yep.
and I am having a surprisingly good time with this game, despite how like janky it is, because it's
Yeah, yeah.
kind of shit. Like, I'll be honest, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
In a very, very specific way. But the main conceit of this game is that you're playing golf on a normal like 3D golf course, but you're hitting a bowling ball, and when you get to the quote unquote green, it's a full 360-degree bowling
Bowling.
alley, and you have to bowl your ball to be able to knock over the pins to be able to score points.
Uh-huh.
And the pins are worth different amounts of points depending on how many strokes it's taken you to get to the hole,
Interesting. Wow.
which is it's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um the reason I say that this game is kind of shit is because the way that they are doing both the golfing and the bowling is that you set up your shot, and then you have to use your mouse and pull it back and then push it forward
Oh.
to be able to either shoot or bowl.
Yeah.
And if you move just a little bit, if you move your mouse just a little bit to one side or the other, you're going to slice that ball so hard off the path that you want to be
Yeah.
on. So that kind of sucks, but the more I've played it, the more I've kind of gotten used to it. The other thing that kind of sucks is that, and this is like something that I'm sure the dev could fix, but I'm pretty sure this is a solo dev who's made like no money on this game. So
Yeah.
like at the same time, kind of whatever. You can go up into like this aerial view to get like a top down view of the golf course, and you can get a preview of like where your ball's gonna go based on just how your ball's going to be hit based on what club you're using, but it's not going to take into account things like wind or like
Mhm.
how much it's going to roll based on the terrain when it lands on the ground, things like that. But the thing that sucks is while you're in that aerial view, you can't adjust your character
Yeah, yeah.
and the way that they're aiming at all. So you have to go into the aerial view, look and see where the ball's going to go back down to the normal view, move just a hair, go back up into the aerial view, make sure that it's going where you want it to. Maybe you went a little too far, so now you have to go back and move a little bit back to the left. So like
Uh,
that kind of sucks. I wish I could move while I was up in that aerial view, but at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal.
mhm.
Um, I am having a surprisingly good time playing this. I think other people would absolutely hate this game, but I
Yeah.
just like janky, weird games, and this is exactly a janky, weird game that I would enjoy playing.
Yeah.
Um,
You like the effort that went into making something different.
absolutely. Like I would like it if it had, like when you play Tiger Woods or whatever, and it just has, or Mario Golf, and it just has a meter that goes up and down, and you hit it in the right spot to be able to hit your ball correctly. If it had
Yeah.
that, I would love this game even more. But it doesn't, and that's
Yeah.
also like it's fine. They wanted to do something different. They wanted to make it, I guess, a little bit more immersive. If you're playing with a controller, because it has controller, or you use like the analog stick, you have to pull it back and push it forward
Yeah, I think
instead.
the Tiger Woods games does that too.
Do they do
Yeah,
that now?
I think so.
Okay, because
I
they didn't
think they
used
do.
to.
No, they didn't. But yeah, I think I think it's been a while too, but yeah, I think they now have that kind of movement
Okay.
up control. Yeah.
Well, then that makes a little bit more sense if that's how modern golf games are playing. Because I've not played a Tiger Woods PGA Tour since like 2001 or something. You know,
Yeah.
been a long time.
Yeah, I think in the like 360 era and stuff, they started doing that like action control thing.
Okay. Well, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm gonna stop being quite so harsh on that portion of it, simply because like that's how golf games are being made now, and I don't play golf
Yeah.
games, so what would I know? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's all this game is. I think the mechanic of the number of strokes to get to the hole and determining how much the pins are worth is super interesting, and that gives you a score. And when you finish your current round, depending on what score you get a bronze, silver, or gold medal, and then you're able to spend points based on what your score was to increase stats that you have, and then you get money also to be able to buy new clubs that there's only two different styles of clubs, but I mean like, so you have all of your different like you have 3 different types of woods, and then like 8 different types of
Irons.
Yeah, thank you. But there's like 3 different variants of each of those, and they're like the normal ones, and then power, which like gives you less control but will hit the ball farther, or steady ones, which hits the ball a little bit shorter but will give you greater control.
Okay.
I've been buying all the steady ones because like it's better to just be able to hit the ball where I want, as far as I'm concerned, and then just increasing my character's power to be able to hit the ball farther.
Cool.
And then you can
How
put
many
spin on the
courses are
ball.
there?
There are a total of 6 different courses.
Okay. Cool.
Each with 18 holes, and you can play them as either a 9-hole course, and then so front 9, back 9, and then the full 18 for each of the 6.
Mm-hmm.
And you can earn a trophy for each of those. And they're also separated into short and long holes, but the long holes don't determine how long the actual like fairway is. It determines how long the bowling alley is. So when you get to the actual bowling portion, you have to roll the ball further to be able to get to the pins, because you always your character's always at the outside of this like big circle for the bowling alley. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all this game is. It's fun. I'm having a good time playing it. It was $3. Go buy it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna put this into great games because I'm having a good time.
All right. All right. The only podcast with a both great game.
Yeah, like I can't deny that I'm having fun. Like I was playing this. I played a round of 9 before we got on the call today. Because I was just like, well, I might as well. Like I have 10 minutes. Sure, I'll sit here and play a game of Bolf.
Did you have a good score?
I have earned golds on nearly all of the short holes at this point, and I'm working on trying to get golds on all of the long holes. So by the next episode, I should be actually done with this game, and I should have all golds on all the holes. That's the goal, at least.
That's
or
amazing.
I might just get tired of it and not bring it back.
Yeah. I hope you're the first one to complete both.
Yeah, one of the 7 people who's bought this game.
Amazing. All right. On my side, I will talk about the game you brought last episode, Thunder Ray. If you want a little reminder, it's not for you. I know what Thunder Ray is, but for people listening, Thunder Ray is a Super Punch Out clone. It's super flashy. It's basically just a hard as nails Super Punch Out with great like hand-drawn visuals and
Yep.
big giant fighters. That's
Yep.
all the game is. I don't. I have the last week tier list really close, and you put Thunder Ray into this is fine because you had a lot of trouble with the game. It was
Yeah, I
like
found it
very
very
difficult.
challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother came at my house, and we decided to just start the game on a whim because I know he's a big Super Punch Out fan, like I am. We both like beaten that game several times over the
Mhm.
years, so I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Let's try that." And honestly, it was fucking amazing. I really like the game. Uh, there are 8 fighters in the base game. I did not buy
Mhm.
the DLC yet, but there are 8 fighters in the main game, and for the first 7 fighters, I think we lost once. Uh, we just like won every fight on our first try.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I did not win like any of those fights on my try.
Not trying to brag, but we I guess we're used to those like last fight in Super Punch Out.
Mhm.
So those, I will say you're all right that a lot of the attacks have very little tails. You have to be on your toes and pick up on those tails really quickly because it's just rough. Like
Yeah,
you
they
get
come
hit
at you fast.
really quickly and it's pretty insane. But at the same time, if you're used to those kind of games, you can get in the groove fairly quickly. Like I said, we won most of our fights on our first try,
Mhm.
so it's not like the game is impossible, but I think it's really targeting the hardcore audience of those fighting games.
I think so, yeah.
And we also played on like the lowest difficulty because that's like we've seen the comments about this game being super hard, and I heard from you that it was super hard. We did try a couple levels on like the middle difficulty, but
Mhm.
I'm not super sure what's different the difference is. I think they maybe just have a bit more health. It wasn't
Okay.
like super clear to me what was the difference. And but that last boss is pretty insane. It took us like an hour to get through it. We just had to replay it over and over and over because that last boss has 3 full phases with different attacks on each phases,
Oh
basically.
man.
And I say different attacks. It's mostly the same attacks, but like there are more things and more repetitions. So like
Mhm.
on the first phase, it will only do like one hit, but on the second phase and third phase, they will do 2 hits or 3 hits in a row, while in the first phase, they won't do that. And it was extremely tough because those patterns are hard to learn, but at the same time, they are at least in. There's no difficulty setting for Daspa, so it's always the same. You, it's always the same patterns every time, so you can
Mhm.
just learn the boss and learn the sequence of inputs to win, basically. So that's like, so it's really hard, but at the same time, it's really fair because you can really learn it and just grind through that learning process.
Okay.
But that said, uh, I really like Thunder Ray. I would say my main complaint that it's really short. Like Super Punch Out as 16 fighters, and this game is
Mhm.
like half as long, especially since we did get through it pretty quickly. Like it took us like an hour and a half to beat the game or something. So
Right.
it wasn't super long, but I'm really interested in trying the DLC now with I think 4 more fighters, and they're making not a sequel but another game exactly like that based on, I don't remember the name of the anime, but
Baki.
Baki no Baki no something.
Baki Hanma,
Oh, Baki Hanma. Okay.
the The game is called Baki Hanma Blood Arena.
Okay. Yeah.
So Baki, the anime, the original manga for Baki is called Baki the Grappler.
Okay.
And then they made a Baki the Grappler anime back in like the early 90s, which is really hard to find these days.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe it got animated back in the 90s. And then they brought it back in like the mid 2000s, like 2010, 2014, somewhere in that range, and made Baki, which is the more recent version, which you can find on Netflix. And then they made Baki Hanma, which is the sequel to that. And then there's a movie, also an OVA, that's also on Netflix. That's like an hour and a half long. That's basically just one fight, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Wow. So yeah, this game is very short, but at the same time, there's a lot more where that's coming from to actually play, especially with the Baki game coming later this year or early next year. So
yeah.
That's my main complaint. Under that, I thought the game was fantastic. I love Super Punch Out. That's my favorite iteration of the Punch Out games because it's more about learning the patterns and grinding those hits compared to the other Punch Out games where it's more about countering specific attacks to get special attacks to actually win the fights. I like the action side of Punch Out more than the like puzzle side, if you I can say it like that. So to me, I would put Thunder Rain to great games. I thought it was really, really good.
That's fair.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I'm more of the target demographic for this game. So I can see it being frustrating for someone not used. It's really not noob friendly.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
It is not new player friendly.
Oh no.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you played it.
Yeah, thanks. I'm also glad we found this game like together and you had a decent time with it, even though it was frustrating. Like,
yeah, so, I liked it. I just wish it was. I wish it was a little bit more accessible for me. Like, if I could get through it a little bit easier on like that easier difficulty, and then be able to, kind of master that and move up in a difficulty and be able to play through it again. Because like it is the kind of game where it's kind of addictive. Like you want to get back in there because it's so expressive, in its animations that it feels really, really good to play. So I would like to play it more. I would like to play it again. I'd like to try and actually get through it. I just don't know if I'm actually going to be able to, even if I put in some time.
We never know.
Hard
and
game.
Like I said, I could show you how to get through Super Punch Out, and maybe that could help you like get into
maybe
after that.
Yeah, because I never did play Super Punch Out.
It's super fun. It's really, really fun. And one last thing I would say about Thunder Ray, it doesn't tracks what difficulty you won those fights in. So like if you want to go back and beat the game in a higher difficulty, you'll have to track that by yourself. You won't, there's no like
that
checklist.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Like I was like, I want to like maybe go again and try the normal difficulty, but not being able to track that, I will just have to do it like in one sitting because I won't remember which one I will have done or not. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. That just feels like a minor design oversight that it's coming from a small studio. Like it's probably something that they just didn't think about,
Yeah, exactly. It's not really, it's worth noting, but at the same time doesn't really change anything about the game.
Right. Yeah. All right. I have one big game to talk about, and then I've got the games that we played while we were hanging out in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Which would you like me to do first? I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah, let's go talk about. Yeah, let's go through our main games, and then we can have a rapid fire of small games we played together and everything.
Okay. All right, so I started playing a CRPG called Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic's Obscura.
What's a CRPG? I
So a
don't remember.
CRPG is specifically it's classified as a computer RPG.
Oh,
So
okay, 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 okay.
this is 2001, like top down RPG made in the West, not a
Yeah,
JRPG. Um, I would very similar to like the original Fallout games, very similar to like
Diablo,
the
those.
way that Diablo looks.
Yeah, yeah, that. Yeah,
Very different from Diablo's gameplay, but similar
yeah,
to how
yeah, yeah. But
Diablo looks with like that
yeah, yeah,
top-down
yeah.
isometric, Neverwinter Nights, things like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
So that's our baseline. So 2001, this game releases in like 2009. I found this game in a thrift store where somebody was
Ooh.
selling just the disc and the manual for the game, which I have. I should have. Here it is. It's underneath a hat on my
Our
desk here.
friend, our friend Rob would be like so disappointed in you right now
Why would he be disappointed in me?
because he's the complete in box guy.
You know what? That is true. I don't own this complete in box, but this manual is 180 pages,
Wow, that's a thick
and
boy. Wow,
that's the manual for the game.
that's
That's not a
amazing.
strategy guide.
Yeah.
That's the manual to teach you how to play this game.
It comes
And
from
let me tell you,
another
you
world.
need this fucking thing
I
because the
bet.
game doesn't tell you anything about how this game is played.
Wow.
This is from a different era.
I'm kind of amazed that you didn't lose the manual or the disc or anything.
So I am not playing this off the disc. I bought it off
Okay.
GOG.
Okay, cool,
So
cool, cool.
I I've wanted to play this game for years and years and years because I've known about it because I bought it and I could never get the disc to work because it was made for like Windows 98. And
Hmm.
when I bought it, I had already upgraded well past that. I think I was onto like Windows Vista at that point,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't compatible with Vista, and I didn't know about like the forums and stuff that this game had that had like patches to be able to make it work on Vista. So I never was able to get this game to work.
Yeah.
So I have this brand new shiny gaming computer, and I'm like, I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna play this game from 2001 that I've never played before. Um, Turns out that's a little bit of an issue also because this game doesn't run very well on Windows 11.
Yeah, that
Despite the fact that GOG says that it runs fine, and despite the fact that there's like this huge fan community for this game that have unofficial patches that you can download that is supposed to make this game more stable and make it run better on modern PCs.
okay.
I think from what I understand, they had gotten this game working like nearly flawlessly on Windows 10. And it's just the fact that Windows 11 is a little bit newer. And the guy who had been working on the unofficial patches, like the main guy, basically stopped working on them in like 2019 or 2020, something like that.
Uh
And he'd been working on this game unofficially for like 10 years, 15 years, something like that, like for a long time. Um, so I want to start with the negatives that I'm having with this game. And that's the fact that my mouse keeps freezing on screen, but all of my keyboard commands still work. But that's a problem because it's like a point and click adventure where you have to click on things on screen to be able to interact with nearly anything. Like you
yeah.
can get through menus and stuff, but when you want to talk to an NPC, you can't do that without your mouse. And my
Yeah.
mouse keeps freezing on screen. I was told that it might be because my mouse was plugged into a USB 2.0 instead of a 3.0. I tried changing to a USB 3.0. That worked for like 4 hours and then it started freezing again. Um so I am trying to get this game working as best as I can.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
But it is frustrating having all these issues. So all of that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Um, and I wish it worked a little bit better. Other than that, though, this game is incredible. I love it so much.
Yeah.
So this is exactly the kind of RPG that I like, where everything you do, everything you say, every one of your choices actually makes a difference and matters within the world of the game.
Yeah,
So
it's not Fallout 4.
it is not Fallout 4. This is closer to Fallout New Vegas than it is to Fallout 4. What
Nice.
race you start the game as? So this the core conceit of this game is that it is a high fantasy world set in like a steampunk late 1800s.
Nice.
So there's this mix of technology and like early technology from like the early industrial revolution and magic.
Mhm.
So there's this kind of there's the high fantasy elements where like there's orcs and ogres and trolls and elves and dwarves and gnomes and all those fantasy races that you would be accustomed with, but
Mhm.
mixed with like 1800s high fashion and
Nice.
steampunk flying machines and blimps and uh guns and early technology like that. So it's such a weird and unique setting, and I really, really like that. What
Yeah.
race you play determines how characters within this world will interact with you. What sex you play, whether you play as a male or female character, will determine how different characters within this world interact with you.
Nice.
So, like I love that kind of stuff. It leads to endless replayability, right? Like
Mhm.
you can go through this game and be like, I want to play as an elf mage and focus only on magic and ignore all of the technology in the world, and be like, I hate technology, and everybody who would have quests for you that have something to do with technology will want nothing to do with you. But and vice versa. If you want to go down the tech route, all the mages in shops and whatnot, they're going to be like, yeah, we don't like technology is essentially interrupting the magic within this world, so the mages hate the people who are into technology. Um, every character that you talk to has something interesting to say. Some characters have voice acting, some don't. The voice acting is really good. There's some like full 3D cutscenes, and they're really great looking. Like I am so in love with this game. It's absolutely fantastic. It's everything that I want from an RPG, and it shouldn't blow me away as much as it does, considering it was 2001 and we had already had games like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 by this point. But even Fallout had come out prior to this game. But this game feels very special.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so I've played it for like 8 hours. Um, this is also the kind of game where I can't just sit down and play it for an hour.
Yeah.
So it's hard it's hard to find time to play it, because I'm like, I need to dedicate like 3 hours at least. Otherwise, I'm
Mhm.
basically not going to complete anything in this game.
Yeah.
Um, as this vast open world where uh you can walk in between each of the individual locations. Like they've modeled the entire world, but it's going to take you like 7 days to walk from one location to another.
Mhm.
So instead of having like actual fast travel, what they do is you go to the world map and you click on this town that you want to go to, and you had to have explored that town already.
Mhm.
But you don't have to have explored that town. You can click on any point on the map and just be like, I want to walk to this particular location. And click the fast travel button, and you'll watch as your cursor moves along this open world map, or the large continent map. And if you run into an encounter, or if you run into a location along that path that you're currently walking, then it'll pull you into like the actual top down isometric view, and then you'll get into combat. Or if you ran into like a marked location, it'll pop up on your map and you can stop there and actually go into that location and, interact with whatever is there, whether it's a town or a dungeon or whatever. So I think that's a really interesting way to do fast travel.
Mm-hmm.
And probably a better way than a lot of modern games do fast travel, where they're just like click on the spot and you can just instantly teleport there. It adds stakes to, well, if I'm going to travel out of town, I better make sure that I have enough supplies in case I run into encounters. I better make sure that my guys are rested and I'm not low on HP, because if I run into, a tough encounter, I'm probably going to die. And there's no autosaves in this game. So if you die, you die, you're going back to your last manual save, and if that was 2 hours ago, fuck you. That's your fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm checking the how long to beat page, and it says that the main plus extra leisure pace is 75 hours.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty insane.
There's a very strong possibility I'll be bringing this game to like the next 5 podcasts, because I don't see myself stopping despite my technical issues that I'm having with this game right now. I'm still enjoying it so much that the mouse freezes on me. I'm like, well, I'll just exit out, back up. I'll be okay. Like I'll just keep playing. So.
And how does you spoke about like encounters, like fighting encounters? How does the fighting works? Did you say it? I don't think you did.
I did not talk about how the encounters work. So you have 2 options of how you want your encounters to work. You can either have them be turn-based, or you can have them be automatic.
Okay.
So if you want them to be automatic, which could be fine if you're fighting against like low-level enemies and you're relatively high level, your characters are just going to, you and whatever party member you have with you, because you can have a party with you also, which your party is based on one of your stats. I don't remember what the name of the stat is, but one of your stats like will increase the amount of party members that you can bring with you. Currently, I can only have 1 additional party member, and if he dies, he's just dead. Fuck you. Sucks that you didn't keep him alive. So if you're playing in turn-based, or if you're playing in automatic, your characters just fight whatever is closest to them, and they'll do their thing. They won't use any like special attacks or magic or items or anything like that. And then if you go into turn-based, you have like an ATB bar above like your HP, and it'll allow you to do X number of actions depending on your current dexterity, I think. I'd have to double check the 180-page manual for this game to make sure that I'm getting that information correct. But you can do a number of actions per turn, and that's like if you're close enough to an enemy to be able to attack them, you can attack X amount of times, and the number of times you can attack is based on the current weapon that you have equipped, your current equip load, and the speed of your weapon will determine also how many attacks you get. So like if you have a faster weapon like a dagger, you'll get more attacks per action point. If you have a heavier weapon like a mace or a hammer or something like that, you'll get less attacks per action point. So you kind of have to make those determinations of like, well, am I over encumbered? If I'm over encumbered, if I'm carrying too much stuff, that's going to decrease the amount of AP that I have to make actions during combat. But if I have a lightweight weapon, I'll still be able to get multiple attacks off per my turn. Yeah, it's a very interesting game.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'm having a lot of fun, despite the fact I'm 7 hours in and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of this one.
Wow.
And according to how long to beat, that does not surprise me at all.
And I have a random question. Do you have a character name that you use when you play those kind of RPGs and stuff? Do you have your set name that you use for all your characters, or how do you go about creating your character?
So I used a pre-made character for this game because you
Okay.
have there's like 12 different characters that you can choose from, 12, maybe 15.
Mm-hmm.
Um I It's like one of each of the races of characters for a male, and then like there's a couple races that they don't have a pre-made for female characters. So you can choose one of those pre-mades, and each of those characters will be like a different race and base class, and they'll be on like their own level up path
Okay.
based on like the background that it sets for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing a dwarf, but I've chosen to you can either stay on that pre-made path. You can choose from a variety of like 100 different pre-made paths, which is insane.
Yeah.
So every time you level up, like it'll automatically follow one of those paths, or you can choose to set your thing to just let you level up manually however you want. So I'm currently trying to level up my strength to 14 to be able to wield a weapon that's in the shop that does more damage. But uh my level up path wasn't getting my strength to 14 fast enough. So I've gone to uh the like self-selecting manual to get my
Mm-hmm.
strength up to that point, and then I'm going to go back to my character's pre-made path and let it continue to automatically level me up, at least for a little while, until I find something else that I want to, spend my points into every time I level up. Because every time you level up, you get 1 point that you can put into like the normal Dungeons and Dragons style uh stat pools, strength,
Yeah.
dexterity,
Okay.
wisdom,
Yeah.
intelligence, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, this game's really good, man.
Nice.
uh, it I think this is just one of the best RPGs I've played right now. It's gonna be S tier for me for right now.
Wow.
It might stay there, it might not, it might drop down a little bit. I don't see. But despite the problems that I'm having with it technologically, I'm having a really really good time with this.
Oh, very cool. That I've never like delved into any kind of CRPGs before.
Mhm.
So that sounds really amazing. I don't know if I have the type of patience needed to play those games, but it sounds really interesting.
I would say like you can get it for like $3 on GOG.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really cheap because it's been around forever. Like
Mm-hmm.
play the first couple of hours, you'll get through like the intro cutscene. And like the introduction area is like you've crashed. You were on this like Zeppelin and it
Mm-hmm.
crashed because it was attacked by some orcs, and you meet this priest and he's like, well, you need to come with me and go talk to my master, and that's kind of your it's part of your primary setup for like the main quest.
Mm-hmm.
Play through that intro area, and if you don't like how it plays, because like there's some enemies to fight, a couple of small dungeons, like or a couple of small caves within that opening area that you can
Mm-hmm.
go through and find some quests within. If you don't like how it plays, then you're probably not going to like the rest of how it plays. If you end up
Yeah.
liking what it has to offer there, you're probably going to like the rest of what it has going on.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Um,
Cool.
this is also absolutely the kind of game where it'll just let you walk into an area that you're not of level for, and
Yeah.
just be like, well, sucks to be you just you're level 5 and you encounter level 25 enemy.
Yep.
Watch as he one shots you and your fucking teammate, and now you're dead. Reload
But
your save, motherfucker.
yeah, I I kind of like that. Like
Yeah,
let developers build worlds like that where you can go in the
yeah,
wrong path.
oh
That's
yeah,
that's a fun. Like I think that's the fun of like an open world and everything. Just being able to just end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and
yep.
yep, they don't do that anymore. A shame.
No, not really. That was part of my problem with Fallout 4 is that like it kind of doesn't matter which way you go in that game. You're
Yeah.
always going to be of some, as long as you have a little bit of skill in terms of just like being able to move and shoot at the same time, you're probably going to be fine no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter, you
True,
know.
true, true, true. Yeah, yeah.
Really, that kind of sucks. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like RPGs like this where it's like, no, you just ran into an enemy that you should not have, and now you're dead.
Yeah. Go find the right path.
Yeah, go the other
Nice.
way.
Awesome. Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. That's the
Yeah,
name of the game. Great.
it's a
S
long
tier.
name.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I have one final game before we go into our quick round of games we played while in Pittsburgh, and the game is called Peak. Have you heard of Peak?
I have not.
Okay, it's kind of like the popular young people game right now.
Okay.
It's damn, I'm forgetting the name of the game, but it's it doesn't matter. I was gonna compare it to something else, but I forget the name. It's a multiplayer game that you play with friends online, and you just have to climb up a mountain. That's all
Okay.
the game is about, and the fun of the game is just trying to figure out the path to climb the mountain. The way I understand it is that every day they release a new mountain where each mountain is divided the same way. It's like the same 5 levels,
Mhm.
but each level is built differently. So you have like the crash landing area, then you have the winter area, then the forest, then the volcano, and then the peak of the mountain, basically. And every day you will have a new level that you can play with friends, and the whole like gameplay of the game is that while you move, you build up hunger, and you can also like hurt yourself if you fall down too much, and that will reduce the amount of stamina that you have. So you have to work with your friends to find paths that you can climb. You can basically climb on anything, a bit like
Mhm.
Zelda Breath of the Wild, but you can only climb so much. So you have to find ways to climb up, stand on something, and then regenerate stamina, and then climb on something else. And if usually you'll be playing with friends, and when you're playing with friends, you can also help yourself by like grabbing you, so you don't need as much stamina, because when you reach the top, your friend will grab you with their hand, and you will climb up automatically. And there's also like an item management side of the game where you can have food to reduce your hunger. You can have like energy drinks that will boost your stamina for a set amount of time. You have also like poisonous mushroom that can have different weird effects. There's also like a grappling gun where you can put a rope that will help you. You can also have like a stuff that you can put on the mountain that stay there, and you can just hold on that and regenerate your stamina when you're on that thing, and then you can continue climbing. So it's basically like a free zone. And yeah, you just get there, you're with people, and you can either just stay as a group and try to climb up, or you can sometimes you will get scattered around, and then you end up at the same place a bit further. And in each at the end of each of those levels, you can revive the your friends that have fallen before that section. So you you get like 3 chances to actually beat the game as a group, and you just but when you're dead for the whole section.
Okay. This looks really
And
cool.
yeah, it's just like it's a co-op game. It's just like a vibing game. You get with friends, you say random stuff, and you try to climb the mountain, and you're like, oh, let's go, do we go left, do we go right, and you try to it feels like it really feels like a climbing game. Like
Mhm.
that's what climbing is all about, is figuring out routes and where to put your hands and where to hold yourself. And they really managed to figure that out as a gameplay feature, even
Right.
though you can climb on anything and doesn't really matter how steep the mountain is and everything, but the way that you have to deal with your stamina, it really feels like you're climbing, but as a video game.
Cool.
Any question?
What
Because
do you,
that's basically the whole game.
are you playing this on Steam?
Yeah, I played this on Steam with my brothers, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of my family, so when like the new hip thing comes around, they are usually the ones like, hey, let's play something online, because that's never like my go-to to propose those kinds of things.
Right. Yeah.
But whenever they do it, it's always a joy to just hang around with like my family and play a silly video game. And this game is a great one for that.
Sweet. Where are you gonna put it on the tier list?
I'm gonna put peak in great games. I'm like, it's not totally like my jam. Like, I like the idea, I like playing with my friends and all, but it's I find like, since it's like run based, because you just start and you have to get to the end of the mountain, it's a bit long for the way I play games. Like, you basically have to dedicate the whole like 2 hours of your evening to just sit down and this one game for 2 hours straight to have a chance of beating it. You cannot just like poke around for a little bit and then go do something else and come back. So
Right. Yeah.
to me, that's like a negative. And also, he had like pretty major bugs. Like, one of our family members joined the game, and then my other brother just couldn't like play anymore. He would just like zap around and see everyone like spinning, and it really fuck up our game. Just the fact that someone joined the game mid game. So yeah, it's a great game. I think it's a super fun, and it's a fun time with friends. Go play it. Peak.
Sweet. All right. Well, for some rapid fire games that are not going to go onto the tier list. While we were in Pittsburgh, I went to an arcade. Me and our friend Josh Leslie, we played Point Blank 3, which is a light gun game. It's basically just a gallery shooter, and you play through a bunch of mini games, and then you score points based on the mini game, and if you both score enough points to get through it, you don't lose any credits. You have three lives to get through, I think 18 levels. It might be 16. I think it was 16 levels.
Okay.
We played through all 16 levels, and it was a fun time. Just shooting at the screen and doing things really quickly. You get a prompt right at the top, and it's like, shoot at these targets, or shoot at this particular thing. You know, it's always shooting because it's a light gun game. And then you do that, and if you complete the task, if you complete the task, you don't lose a credit. If you complete the task, or if you fail the task, you lose one of your lives.
It's
it was
kind
a good
of
time.
like WarioWare with light guns.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And then we played some House of the Dead 2, and we got to the final boss, and we ran out of tokens because final boss is really hard.
Oh no. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, it was still fun. You know, I really enjoyed playing that game. If we had like, since it was a token machine, if we had maybe like 10 more tokens, we probably could have gotten through it, but we just didn't. We ran out. So
yeah,
it's fine.
Worth paying more dollars to just pay the
game. Yeah, that's kind of how we felt about it. And by that point, everybody else that we had gone to the arcade with was done with their tokens. It was kind of looking to leave. So we were like, yeah, we're not going to make you guys stand around and wait for us to, play the last 3 minutes of this boss, because you've played House of the Dead 2. That final boss is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And then while we were at the house, we played. I played some Mario Kart World, which was fun. Like, it's Mario Kart. Like, I don't know what you want me to say about it. It's Mario Kart. It's more Mario Kart. If you like Mario Kart, this is a fun Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Have fun. Play Mario Kart.
You can go wrong.
Yeah. Except for the one that's on Game Boy Advance. That one kind of sucks. That's my opinion.
I also hate the one on the Wii. I think the one on the Wii is pretty
Oh, really?
terrible. Yeah,
Just
I
because of the
just
motion control?
no, not even. I don't I don't like the controls, and there's a lot of blue shells. Like that one is kind of
Yeah.
insane for blue shells. I feel like the balance is kind of off. Like
Yeah.
I was really big on Double Dash before that, and I don't know.
Double
We
Dash is
didn't,
really good.
yeah, we didn't hook me. But since then, I like every other one, like 7, 8, World. It's all fun. Yeah,
Yeah. I'd like to see them bring Double Dash back. Like bring that mechanic
yeah,
back where you have two people in the cart. That'd be a
that'd be
lot of
kind of
fun because you could
fun.
play four
Yeah,
player now on the Switch and
yeah,
have 2-on-2 games where you're being able to
yeah,
switch
yeah,
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
forth. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Um, Mount Your Friends is another game that we played.
Yeah, that's funny.
Uh, it's a very funny game. It's basically a lot of people are comparing it to I Am Bread, which I've also played and kind of hate
Okay,
that game.
okay,
But it's like each of your hands is controlled by one of the four triggers on the controller, and you have to uh hold the triggers of the hands that you don't want to be holding on to anything, and then
yeah,
try and get past the line that the last player in the circle um got to, and try and get farther than them, otherwise you're out. It's
yeah.
fun, it's ridiculous, it's a good time.
Yeah, I
And
won a
then
game of that.
did you?
Barely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was one where you had to go the farthest, like on the right,
Oh
and
yeah, the
I just
horizontal one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I managed to just squeeze a win at the very end. Like the path was kind of hectic, and yeah, I got lucky.
I did not win any of them, but I had a lot of fun playing
Yeah,
it.
nice.
And then I made sure to challenge everybody to some Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah,
And you were the only person that was able to beat me. Uh
that's kind of crazy. I hate fighting games. Like that's like fighting games and beat 'em ups are like the two genre I just cannot stand.
yeah.
And I don't know. Uh, and I only beat you with like one single character. I feel like that character just had the right amount of speed, and like it just played right to my strengths, I get.
So what I will say is that I've not played any Soul Calibur for over a year, and I made sure to not practice before coming to Polycon.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Soul
I
Calibur
would
2 is my favorite. It's my favorite fighting game of all time. It's one of
still,
my
yeah.
favorite games of all time. I love this game. I have played an ungodly amount of hours of Soul
Hmm.
Calibur.
Yeah,
Um, I found the game in the arcade back in the day. Like that's how I first played it. I put a lot of quarters into that arcade machine.
yeah.
I used to sit there and just play through on the arcade machine through the arcade mode, beating that boss on like one or two tokens, and have people come
Wow.
up and challenge me while I was sitting there playing, and them coming up and thinking that they're going to beat a little kid because I was like 12, and then I would just crush them and then go back to my arcade playthrough.
That's
I love
amazing.
Soul Calibur 2
Love
so
it.
much. It's one of my favorite games, and I didn't practice because I was afraid that if I practiced, I would beat everybody worse than I would have, or worse
Yeah,
than I did.
you
And
already like crushed everybody.
yeah, nobody was able to take a match off me. Like some people took a single life off of me, but was
Yeah.
never able to beat the whole two out of best 2 out of 3.
Wow.
Um,
Except for
except for
me
you.
somehow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Love to
Um,
hear it. Yeah.
I love that game. Maybe next time everybody gets together, I'll make sure to practice a little bit beforehand and
uh,
put a real beat down on people because that'd be fun.
yeah, that's
Or
fun too.
I'll bring a different fighting game
Yeah, yeah,
and maybe we can play some like some Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, like the newer Mortal Kombat games are really easy to pick up and play.
yeah.
Um, so
Or
9 through 11 slash
mhm.
Mortal Kombat 1, the newest one, are all basically
Mhm.
the same fighting system. So
Yeah,
I
or
like those games.
we
I
could
like
pick
those
one
games quite a
like
lot.
a couple months in advance and just practice it.
Yeah,
And then we come in and we both crush everybody.
yeah, yeah. That'd be fun. I would also be really happy to do some Smash Brothers with people.
Yeah.
Nobody ended up bringing Smash, which was kind of unfortunate.
Mhm.
But I would be happy to play Smash with people. I
Who's
really love that
yeah.
game.
Who's your main?
Samus. Samus has been
Nice.
my main since the first Smash Brothers. So
Nice. Great
she's
pick.
like she's like B tier now. She's not that good in
Yeah.
comparison to a lot of the more modern characters, but I'm just so used to her moveset that I'm still pretty good with her.
Nice.
Um and I told some of our other friends also, but like uh so my some people that I know locally like used to travel to
Mhm.
play Smash
Wow.
and play it
Mhm.
competitively. So those are the kind of people that I've played against Smash against on like a
Okay. Yeah.
regular basis. So when I play against Smash, when I play Smash against people who don't play like highly competitively, it's like that idea with chess, right? Like when you play
Yeah.
against people who are really good all the time and then you play against somebody who doesn't play, you end up being really good even though you're not as good as these other people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
how I am with that's kind
Okay.
of how I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
with Smash.
Interesting. I'm absolutely terrible. I hate Smash, but
I love it. It's so much fun. It's a really
yeah,
good
yeah,
fighting game.
it's still fun. But yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think I
that
would
was
want
it.
to one thing,
Yeah.
really quick. I would not want to bring an anime fighter because they're a little too complex, I think,
Mhm.
for anybody to just pick up and play. Like I would not be
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
"Hey, everybody, try Guilty Gear." You know,
Yeah.
one of the hardest fighting games it is to learn. Or
No.
Virtua Fighter is another one. Where it's
Yeah.
like you really have to know what you're doing to play Virtua Fighter. I wouldn't want to bring
Yeah.
that game to, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
play an arcadey good time.
Cool. I also picked up a couple other games while I was in Pittsburg. I played Spaceteam with a couple of friends. It's a mobile game where you just have to shout instructions to your other friends to do stuff on their phones or tablets. So like you receive instructions like, oh, you need to put the positron gravity to 4. So if you don't have that specific module on your tablet, then you have to scream at your other friends, please somebody put the gravity positron to 4. But
Uh
at the
huh.
same time, all of your friends are screaming random stuff. That sounds completely insane that you have to do at the same time. So you have to kind of coordinate, and you have like a small window of time for that to happen so you don't lose. And it's just chaotic. It's super fun. It's just a random good time where you're just screaming all the time, trying to make progress in that like space field.
That was really fun to listen to.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, on my first night, I lost my phone. I arrived in the Airbnb, and our friend Banana was playing Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64. I love Tetris Attack. I love Puzzle League, and they were playing that game on the like story mode on the
Mhm.
hardest difficulty. So I picked up the controller, and I really needed a win that night. So I managed to get like 2 or 3 wins against the computer, and those computers are insane. Like one
Yeah.
time, I was like 3 minutes deep into the fight and just lost. Even though I did like my best run of the night, I just couldn't make the win happen. But
Hmm.
yeah, Pokemon Puzzle League is so fun.
Yeah, it's a good
I'm
one.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad I had time to like beat a couple opponents. And finally, our friend Burger Champ brought Magical Drop 2, which is another similar game where you have to like drop gems to then bring them back up, and then it goes into chain reactions by the same colors that are touching.
Mhm.
And he was playing against our friend Michelle. He won, I think, and then Michelle was like, "Who wants to try it?" And I grabbed the controller, and I absolutely destroyed Burger Champ twice in a row. That was like not even close. I had played a bit of. I don't think I had played like this specific version, but I had played like this game, I think, in the Flash game form before, and I don't know if Burger Champ was kind of pissed, but he didn't look quite happy. Like after the second win, I was like, "Yeah, sorry, Burger, you just got Potomaxed," and he didn't seem to find this funny. But I was like, "Okay," I needed to leave anyway, so I gave the controller to someone else. But yeah, Magical Drop 2. I'm apparently really good at that game too.
Sweet.
Yeah, and that's all for our games.
That's all for the games.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some hobby time. Max, I have nothing for hobby time. So
Yeah, but you can talk about Putt Shack with me.
Yeah, so while we were in Pittsburgh, we went to Putt Shack and we played some mini golf together, some putt together.
Oh yeah.
And this Putt Shack was interesting. So they had all of their courses set up where all the balls had RFID chips in them. So there was like mini games to play within playing the games of putt, which was an interesting idea.
Yeah, and it also tracked all like how many putts every player had, and it was a bit like bowling. Like when you go bowling, there are animations and it tracks your score and everything. That was basically the same system, but for putt.
Yep. Yeah, so it was nice to not have to like manually record our scores.
Yep.
I do feel like they maybe overcomplicated the courses just a little bit too much. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel I wouldn't say really overcomplicate, but yeah, some of the like patterns were a bit weird or kind of random. Like you had to either kind of play the mini game or try to shoot for the high score, and like why do I have two different objectives for the same putt putt course? Like if you want to do a trivia, like you said about mini games, there was one where you had trivia and you could putt in the category that you wanted the question of, or you could try to putt into a hole in one. And like if you putt the hole in one, then you bypass the idea of trivia, which is like the whole point of the hole. And if you try to go for the hole in one, then you're not choosing your category for the trivia either. You would just fall in the category next to the hole in one. So just the fact that there's a hole in one option kind of destroy the whole idea of the trivia hole. Like just if you want to do a trivia hole, just do a trivia hole. You don't need the hole in one in that hole because you have like kind of two designs at the same time.
I guess they wanted to still have that hole in one design there, like where it's technically possible to get a hole in one so that you can beat the whole, 9 in 9 strokes.
Yeah.
But they also want to give the people who want the game aspect of it a little bit more. The game aspect of it. Yeah. So I guess that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I guess it would have been nice if like they were if they were a little bit more split like that. Like if you wanted more of that like going for the hole in one as much as possible, if that was like a separate course and then all the game type games were on a separate course altogether.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Like I feel like doing both at the same time kind of ruins both version for everybody. Because if you're like we were just playing for fun, but at the same time, I don't want to go in and not put for the hole in one because I'm still
Yep.
trying to win. But since we didn't like agree together to like go for the gaming aspect instead of the hole in one, I had to go for the hole in one just to try to win. So
Yeah.
it just makes the whole experience confusing. But
It was still a good time.
that said, yeah, it was really a good time. And I think the fact that everything was automatic with the putts and everything, that was super fun. That was the first time I had that experience with mini golf, and I thought that was extremely well done.
Yeah. So there was one thing that we did talk about while we were there, which was that like the fact that we had like a designated start time and that we had 5 of us on the course. So we're playing a little bit slower, right?
Yeah,
So
because we're
we have
5.
because we're a group of 5. We have 2 teams of 2 behind us on the course. If we weren't playing with this RFID, we could just be like, you guys, you're a pair of 2. You're catching up to us on every hole. You can just cut ahead of
Yeah.
us, and let them go, and they would always outplay us. We would never catch up to them again, and that'd be
Absolutely.
perfectly fine. But because of the RFID system, we could not let them cut in front of us, which
Yep.
I think is also a minor design flaw of that concept.
Absolutely. Like when I did the mini golf video, like when we went to like the competition holes with the competition guy from our city, we just like jump from hole to hole because there were other people playing casually, and he was like knowledgeable with the course and with the guy running the mini golf. So we just did every hole in a different order because we just picked the ones that were available when we were there. And with that RFID system, we wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to wait
Right.
our turn and do everything in order. So, like, it's a fun, casual idea, but like in practice, if you want to do if you were to do some competition or you want to just accommodate other people, that's not like the best system. So, like, it's fun, it's good, but it kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a bit torn on that. Like it was super fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't maybe not have remembered this mini golf as much if it didn't have that system, but at the same time, yeah, there are very obvious cons to having this rigid like playtime system.
Yeah. I would say I enjoyed my time. I don't know if I would go back. It's kind of how I feel about it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're like a week off of it at this point. So
yeah, well, I've seen that on the weekends they have like but all you want for the evening kind of type of deal. Like you pay $20 and you can play all the courses one after the other. So maybe that would be more like the kind of experience instead of just going for a course and having to work and everything. Just go there
right.
and just
Yeah.
cut as much as you want.
Yeah.
So at the house, I've also played some Magic the Gathering Commander. I wanted to make a deck and print some proxies and stuff, but I just didn't get the time to do it because I've been really busy with videos and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there were extra decks. I played with our friend Drachma, Michelle, Ross, and I know I'm forgetting someone. I'm sorry. I know with the first game Michelle wasn't there, and I don't remember with.
Was it Briz that was playing with y'all?
Oh yeah, maybe it was Briss. I don't remember. I get.
I
I
know
really get.
I don't I know it was you 4 the first, like you and
Okay, the first
Drachma
time.
and Ross and Michelle when I showed up to the house on
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
It was you 4 already playing. So I don't know if Briz was playing prior to
Yeah,
that. Like maybe.
maybe. I really can't remember. I know I played a game where I took one of Michelle's deck and the other time Michelle was there with her other deck. But yeah, I really can't remember. Sorry. Maybe it was you, Briz. I really can't remember. But that was the first time I think I played, or maybe second time I played some Commander. Like, I love Magic the Gathering, and I
Mhm.
hadn't played in a while, and it was a lot of fun. I think in both games, if I remember correctly, Drachma took the lead, and then everybody like focused on Drachma, and then Ross really took the lead, and then everybody focused on Ross, and in the end, Drachma won.
Mhm.
That was like both games that we played, and um, I think in both games I put like a serious threat in the middle of the game, just enough to like do some damage, but never enough to actually win the game. But
Right.
in the second game I did, like Drachma won, but if he hadn't won, like Russ was winning just after that, and if Russ wasn't winning, I was winning right after that. Like, it was down to the wire. We were in the last turn for sure. Someone was winning. It just ended up being like set that won on
Right.
that one, and yeah, I thought everybody had like fun decks and everything. And one thing that like I really like card games. I like those kind of like
Mm.
1-on-1, 4-on-4 kind of like card games where you can build your decks and everything. But something that I don't like is when people just like min max their decks. Like, you sometimes you will play Magic the Gathering and people will just spend like $500 on their decks with like
Oh,
$30
that's
cards
me.
and everything. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm like what the fuck? You know you're gonna win. What's the point? Like, you spend $500. I like playing with weird janky decks and just see what happens. And I like that side of competition. Like, let's just see what happens with like those random cards. That's what I like with like those kind of games.
So my thing with Commander was that the group of people that I used to play Magic with, we all went from playing like highly competitive Magic, like
Yeah.
playing at
Okay.
a fairly high level, to not wanting to play in the competitive scene anymore, but still
Mhm.
wanting to, but we still have that mindset of like, well, we have that competitive thought in our heads
Yeah.
about how we play. So we're not playing like competitive level EDH decks or commander decks. You know, like we're not playing the kind of commander decks that are going to win on turn 2 or turn 3 like some people will do,
Mhm.
but we still played with like really powerful combos and really powerful things happening within our decks rather than, you know, just a pile of random cards that sort of interact with each other.
Mhm.
So that's where I came to Commander, or that's how I came to Commander, and that's how all of my Commander decks were built, and that's how the few Commander decks that I have left are still built.
Yeah.
Um, which I regret not bringing any, because I forgot to I talking in like the whole group chat months ago about people bringing
Yeah.
Magic cards with us. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally bring some decks with me because I only have a few left. I've sold off all my Magic cards at this point because I'm all in on Warhammer, but I only have these couple of decks. And I said I was going to bring them. And then as I was packing up my stuff, I completely fucking forgot.
Like you
So
forgot the pen.
I did forget your pan. I'm sorry.
And
So
yeah.
next year when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
all get together, I'll definitely bring my decks,
All
and
right.
we'll see how well they actually hold up.
All right. I'm gonna try to make one also with
Okay.
them. I will. Yeah. I will try. I wanted to do Kimba, the Night Regent, or I don't know. It's a
Okay.
it's a cat commander that when you add equipments to her, and for each equipment they spawn like one cats on
Okay.
every turn. So that's what I wanted to like work with. Just put a bunch of equipments and Kimba and just try to spawn like as many cats as possible. That's what I wanted to do.
If you'll give me just a second, I'll go grab my decks to make sure that I'm not telling lies about what I have left.
Okay.
All right, hang on.
So while Chris is out, I'm gonna talk about the pan. So, like a couple of weeks ago, I talked about making a pan where you could play Arctic Eggs with, which is a game where you have to fry eggs. And what I basically did is I bought a cheap pan at the dollar store and I drilled a hole in the middle of the pan and I attached a phone holder to the pan, and then you can just put your phone in the pan and you can actually play Arctic Eggs with the pan. uh, it needs a little setup in the Steam like controller thing, but using Steam Link and Steam and that controller thing, you can totally play Arctic Eggs with a phone on a pan. So you're basically playing Arctic Eggs with a pan, with the pan in the game, and it's actually pretty fun. What do you think
It's
about
pretty
the
cool.
pan? Yeah.
I enjoyed the pan a lot until it stopped working for us while we were trying to play the damn game.
Yeah. It took us a while to actually made it work, but when we made it work, because the fucking thing is that I set up everything before we met, and I fucking lost my phone, and that made Steam lose my like configuration for the game because it wasn't the same phone we were using to play the game. Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
that fucking phone.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm sorry you lost your phone still.
It's fine. It's fine. I had an iPhone 13 Pro for like 4 years, and now I have an iPhone 16 Pro, and I'm pretty amazed at how much lighter the new iPhone is. Like it's
Yeah.
much more powerful, but it's less heavy. So that's actually pretty cool. And like I didn't have the latest OS. I think it wasn't compatible with the 13 Pro because it was like 4 years old. And there are a couple of things that I find like interesting, like the way the lenses work for the camera. Like now the zoom camera is a 5x. I have a 2x lens and a 5x lens, and before I only had like a third x lens. So like it's subtle things that I think are better. I think the phone is clearly an upgrade, but yeah. So I'm not really mad to have like a better phone, but like it's just shitty to lose like $1,000 just because I forgot my phone in a cab. But yeah, whatever.
Okay, so I have 3 magic decks left. First one is Teysa Karlov. She says that if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time, and creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink.
Wow, nice.
So that deck is all about, it's black-white. It's all about sacrificing things because it allows me to trigger double times for every time I sacrifice something, and I kill you by sacrificing things. Second deck that I have is mono red. It's Perforos, God of the Forge. He has 4 mana, indestructible, 6/5. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Perforos isn't a creature because he's an enchantment god. He's an enchantment creature.
Nice.
And he says whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent. And then I can pay 3 mana, 1 red, and 2 colorless. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of turn. That ability is never going to matter because the entire deck is built around making creature tokens as fast as possible and doing 2 damage to everybody every time I make a creature token.
Yeah. That fucking sucks. I hate you.
And then the third deck that I have still put together is red, white, blue. It's Pramicon, the Sky Rampart. It is a 1/5 flying defender. As Premofcon, the Sky Rampart enters the battlefield, choose left or right, and each player may only attack the nearest opponent in the chosen direction, and planeswalkers controlled by that opponent.
Wow.
And this deck is built entirely around making my opponents not be able to do what they want to do, and only letting them do what I want them to do.
Please don't bring that one.
But
Whatever
it's
you do,
fun.
don't bring that fucking one. Let me do what I want.
No,
Oh
no, you
my.
have to only attack the player to your left, and you're going to. It's basically a stacks deck. So
Yeah.
it's going to have a bunch of things in it that make all of your spells cost more mana to cast. It's going to have a bunch of things that make it so that your creatures can't attack unless you pay additional mana.
Mhm.
It's going to tax you on everything that you try and do, and then I'm going to win because of that.
That sucks. That's like the worst deck ever.
No, you want to know what the worst deck ever is? So I used to play competitive Legacy. So Legacy is the format where it was you could play with whatever cards you want from any edition minus the small ban list. 60 card competitive. I had 2 decks in competitive Legacy. The first one was Stasis. Stasis is a card. It's an enchantment. It says that so long as Stasis is on the battlefield, players cannot untap.
Mm-hmm. That sucks. Yeah.
I would play the entire point of the deck was to play Stasis, make my opponent not be able to untap, and then bounce Stasis back to my hand during your turn. Untap, play Stasis again. So you're never going to get an untap phase, and I'm always going to get an untap phase.
That's disgusting.
It was absolutely horrendous to play against when it worked.
Yeah.
And then my other
Go
deck that I used to play in Legacy was Pox. Pox is a deck that is dedicated 100% to destroying all of your lands. So you play a land, I'm going to destroy it.
Come on, man. Come on. You play the worst decks.
No, Legacy is a fun format, I promise you.
Yeah, when I was
Legacy is a format where you can win on turn 3, and I was the guy who would show up to tournaments and be like, "You're not winning." That's not happening today. I'm going to win on turn 30 in game 1. And we're going to have a good time. Well, I'm going to have a good time doing
you're
this.
going to have a good time. Yeah. When I was in college, we used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering. No format, just like whatever cards we had. That's whatever. Like nobody was really building any competitive decks, but we all had like random cards. And one of my favorite decks I did was a Pestilence deck, which is like you pay 1 black and you do 1 damage to each creature and to like every player by playing 1 black. And I had like walls that had like 7 defense. I don't remember the toughness. So whatever. And I would just like do 6 damage to everything on every turn, but still have creatures on my board. So like you couldn't like never ever attack me. So yeah, that was one of the ones that I really like to play. Just destroying everything, and like you can do anything about that.
Yeah, good times. I do miss playing Magic sometimes, but I don't want to play Modern Magic anymore. So it's fine. I haven't upgraded these decks in 5 years at this point. So
yeah, just the game in itself is fun. Like
yes,
everything around the game kind of sucks, and like the fact that they're releasing like 1,000 cards every year, like fuck that.
But yeah, and Wizards of the Coast kind of sucks. So
yeah, whatever.
Anyway, do we have anything else for hobby time?
Yeah, I have 2 other things I want to talk about. I went to a baseball game in Pittsburg. We've seen the Pirates play the White Sox, and the game, I guess it was the first time I went to a MLB game since I went to the Expos in like 2003. So it's been over 20 years. And It was fine. I guess baseball isn't my favorite sports to watch.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of things happening, and like like pitchers are so good nowadays that you either get like a weird hit or a strikeout. Like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of things happening, but just I found like just being in a stadium with 20,000 people, that experience was pretty crazy to me. Like and like in the seventh inning when everybody's singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," it feels kind of surreal to me. Like for like a minute when
Mhm.
everyone's singing that song, there's like nobody there has problems. Like there's
Right.
no religion, there's no politics, there's nothing. They're just like 20,000 people singing for the love of baseball, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
I find that pretty amazing. That's like a really great experience to have. And I've also bought my most expensive beer I ever bought in my life.
Oh,
With tip, it cost me $20 for a Miller Lite.
for a Miller Lite,
It was a big can, but yeah,
like a 24
$20.
ounce can.
Yeah, it
Okay,
$20, $20 for a Miller Lite. What
Uh,
the fuck?
just for one.
Just for one Miller Lite in a big can.
Okay, because like I'm from Kansas City. I go to the soccer games here. We have Sporting Kansas City,
Mhm.
our local Major League soccer team. Um, I go to the stadium and I get cans are expensive, but I get one of those large cans for $10 plus a
Yep.
tip. And I'll tip $2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But and like whenever I've gone to like large music festivals, it's never been more than $10 anywhere
Yeah.
I've gone for
Mhm.
a can of beer. You're telling me
Yeah.
you spent $20 on a can of beer.
Yeah, it was like $17 plus tip or $18 plus tip, like whatever. It all in all it was $20 for a beer. I took one. That was my whole thing.
I am
I,
so glad I did not go with you guys because a game of baseball is like 3 hours long. And I drink a lot, especially when I'm hanging out with people. I
yeah.
would have wanted to drink, like, I go to a hockey game and I drink one of those beers each period.
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. That was crazy. Like I'm kind of glad I had this experience, but I don't ever want to go to a
No,
baseball game ever again.
that sounds terrible.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a local ECHL
Yeah.
team here in
Oh
town.
yeah.
The Mavericks, and they're the stadium's like 15 minutes away. And like same thing, it's like $10 beers. So every period I'll drink a beer while I'm watching a game there. And it's
Yeah.
like $20 to get into the stadium for a game. It's great, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the best hockey in the world. We don't have an NHL team, but ECHL ain't bad.
No, it's fine. Oh,
It's
okay,
it's
you're
fine hockey.
affiliated with the Krakens. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's cool.
we get some decent games.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the games will be kind of bad. Sometimes the games will open up with a fight. It always just depends. It's always a good time though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's great. But yeah, fuck baseball. But yeah, just being there with friends was fun. Our friend
Right, yeah.
Trav was completely out of this world. I will say that, and he tried to do a bit where his whole bit was, "Hey, I thought there were 5 of us, while we were actually like 6,"
Mhm.
and it was like fucking annoying. But by like the 30, 60, like by the 30th time, it kind of became funny. Like we started laughing at this old bit, and
Mhm.
It's just like he made a map of like, oh yeah, I finally got him with this bit, and that was great. Like that was fun.
Cool.
And finally, I've been writing my script for my mini golf like travel thing. It's exhausting, man. I'm like at 10 pages long, and I know I will have to say all of those words in front of the camera. Actually, I'm 11 pages long, and I still have like 3 or 4 other pages to write. It's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
fucking gauntlet to do this video, but it's gonna be a great video. I know it's gonna be super fun, but oh man, it's so much work,
Yeah.
and yeah, I hate myself sometimes just having those like putting those all of that work in front of me. But yeah, I know it's gonna be great, and I already have more ideas for more mini golf videos. So yeah, I'm not done with doing mini golf stuff, and yeah, it's exhausting, but it's fun.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be it for hobby time. How about we move on to some loot box?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I have 2 videos to shout out today, as per usual. First video, I hope I'm pronouncing this channel correctly. I believe it's Panakoek 2012.
Yeah.
The
I
video
think
is
it's
how
like
we.
and cake in German or something like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
The video is how we conquered Womp's fortress. Which is it's so he is a Super Mario 64 tasser, so he does tool assisted speedruns for Super Mario 64, and he has a bunch of videos that are awesome about all kinds of random things within Super Mario 64. And this is talking about how he and some other folks were able to figure out how to beat Womp's fortress without a single A press, which
Nice.
is a complicated task to try and complete, considering you have to climb a tower within Womp's fortress,
Without
you know,
jumping, basically.
without jumping. He's got another video that I really enjoyed about every Goomba glitch within
Yeah.
Super Mario 64.
Mhm.
That's like 2 hours long or something like that. Really good. Dude's great. He's
Yeah.
making good content out there all about Mario 64. So if you like Mario 64, watch this guy's channel for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I know for a while it was like kind of it didn't like the attention his videos got like
Mm-hmm.
several years ago. Like when he kind of became popular, he didn't like that people were memeing his phrases and like we need to go into like a parallel world and stuff. He hated
Mm-hmm.
like people using his videos and just making memes out of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he came around, and like since like the last 2 years, he came back to YouTube and just made more videos and stuff. And I think he just right now is just like he's making content when he has stuff to say, and it's always
Yep.
been great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. And then second video that I want to shout out, Super Eye Patch Wolf doesn't need a shout out from our small fucking podcast here because he's been around forever and has over 1 million subscribers. That's fine. This video, Void Strangers, is a game for lunatics. It's a video about Void Strangers, which is a game that after watching this video, I know that I probably will never want to play. But like other games, I will enjoy watching somebody talk about an interesting video game that I don't want to play. So,
Interesting.
good video. He always makes good stuff.
Yeah, I see. As like you say that I've never heard of this guy before,
Really?
and I see he has like wrestling content and stuff,
Yeah.
and it seems pretty interesting for me. I don't know.
Yeah, so he started making content as like an anime YouTuber, just talking about anime, which is how I found him because I like anime.
Mhm.
And then he started like branching out and doing other stuff. He just released a video a few months ago about like the entire storyline of Roman Reigns over the last like 8 years, which is
Yeah.
great. Like I don't give a shit about
Hmm.
wrestling, but I watched that entire video and it was enthralling the entire way through. Like 2.5 hours I don't care about, and I'll still watch it.
Big dog, the big dog, Roman Reigns. Nice, great picks. For mine, I will shout out one of my friends, Yuusha. He did a video, a game dev journey for beginner to pro, where he shows how, like, he came out of college and stuff, trying to get into the gaming industry, and he basically moved out of his home in Scotland to England and kind of was miserable, like not having friends in England, and then he managed to came back to his home, learn how to make games and work for a company that works for Minute Clip, and how he's like doing great right now. He can work from home and just make great stuff on his own when he can. And all the video is basically like a bit in a story time form, and he drawn a lot, like he's an artist, like he's mostly an artist, and like all of his video is like filled with drawings of him and the situations. Like he's drawn himself like in a bit of a Animal Crossing style and is an old style and everything. So it's really fun to watch, and the whole story is super inspiring. So give them a watch, and yeah, Yuusha is great. I love his stuff, and he's also leaving for Japan in a couple of days, meeting our friend Freezax. That I actually bought my ticket to go see him in December. So early December,
Sweet.
I'm leaving for Japan for 2 weeks. Basically, it's gonna be pretty wild. I've never been this far in the world, and I'm just like living alone, meeting another guy, making YouTube videos together.
Right.
So I think it's gonna be pretty wild. Hopefully, we can manage to like record with him when I'm over there, so we can have like a normal episode. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see in December. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm living.
Yeah. We'll talk about that as it gets closer to that point in time as to
Yeah,
how we're gonna work
absolutely,
all that out.
absolutely. And my second shout out, I don't think I have shout out this channel before. It's Brandon Sheperd. He's a designer, and all of his videos is about redesigning like food products, like
Mhm.
soda cans, chip bags, stuff like that. And his latest video is I made popular junk food look healthy. So like he take like Funyuns and try to design a cheap bag that look like a healthy Funyun stuff just by like rewarding stuff and changing the colors and everything. It's all
Mhm.
the same like info as the main Funyuns, but now it looks healthy because like there's vegetable on the package and stuff like that.
Right.
And
Just the way the marketing is. Yeah.
exactly. Just a sec. Wait.
Quand on a fini la pharmacie, on était en train de payer. La personne qui travaillait dans la pharmacie avait dit qu'il y avait un monsieur blanc dehors qu'il est très vieux, puis il est pas il est bizarre, puis il est habillé tout en blanc, puis a dit que faut faire attention à cause il a dit j'attends que la pharmacie ferme pour vous menacer. Puis après, elle a appelé la police.
Ouais, ça doit être peur. Hein.
J'ai envie de rester avec un adulte.
Et tu veux rester avec moi ou tu vas aller avec maman en haut? OK. J'ai presque fini mon podcast. Il faut rester silencieuse. OK? Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I've been watching his stuff for a while, and I love how he I love how he shows his process into making packaging and the logos and
Mhm.
stuff. And I've been using like some of his, like the way he shows how to drop shadows and change the lighting on everything. I've been using that on making some of my thumbnails. So it's been
Oh,
really,
cool.
yeah. It's been interesting to just to see someone do designs the way he does. It makes it really approachable, and I think it's easy to pick up on like tips and stuff just by watching what he does. And the thing he does is pretty interesting in itself. Like just the way he changes packaging may, like, it completely changes the product just by changing the
Mhm.
package. And I think it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that for sure.
Yeah. Fully recommended. His whole channel, and like, is super chill, is super happy. It's just like showing his like designing process. I think it's super fun to put in the background and just see what he does.
Cool. Well, that's Lootbox. Oh, and we don't
Yeah.
have any emails. So
No.
if you would like to reach out to us with any questions, comments, or topics of discussion, you can email us at thetrashstation@gmail.com.
And we would also like to thank Heath Aldrich for our intro and outro music. You can find the link to all of his music on his Bandcamp page at heathaldrich.bandcamp.com.
And we would also like to thank Rainbow Savvy Designs for our logo. Links to both of their work will be available in the show notes. And you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/scotchandhobbies. I try to stream every Monday and Wednesday around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But you can also find me on social media if you want at Scotch and Hobbies.
And if you want to play some of my games, you can check my itch.io page at potomax.itch.io. Otherwise, you can see what I'm playing on Blusky. I really need to get back on Blusky. I've not been posting for like 2 months because, man, life. I just.
Oh, I never get
just,
on that fucking website.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at social media, man.
And otherwise, if you speak French and you like to read subtitles, you can see a ton of my videos on the good old YouTube at youtube.com/jeuxbière.
And you can find the show on Trash Station Pod on Blue Sky, where I never post.
We'll get around to that someday.